a coach emailed and inquired about different methods that I might use to get players to dribble with their heads up. So the coach uses some of the drills that I tend to suggest, including some of the tag games that I use that I'll link in down below. But still, the players were, dribbling, and their eyes were on the floor when they were dribbling, especially in games, and they were having trouble completing passes in games. So my suggestion was simply, where are their eyes in their drills? If their eyes are going to be, towards the ground when they're doing these drills, even if they're, have to be somewhat aware of where other players are to try to avoid being tagged. How can we create a constraint that forces them to keep their eyes up, at least some of the time? And so one of the things that I suggested was, play the regular tag games, but create a way that, they have to pass the ball, or they can pass the ball. So the first one that I suggested was, playing, a tag game, so like team tag, and when you're being chased, if you're being chased, you can pass the ball to a teammate who doesn't have a ball. And so if the team that's it can only tag the team that, or it can only tag players that have the ball in their hands. And so that's one way to avoid being tagged. Instead of just trying to dribble away from the person who's it, you can pass the ball. And that gives two options. It makes it a little bit more game-like because you're, as soon as you're guarded, essentially, you're moving the ball to the open player. And three, it forces you to keep your eyes up because you need to be aware of where those open players are. So the first kind of suggestion was to do the drill with stationary players that can be the pass receivers. And then as they start to adapt and to this and get better, then allow those players to move. So the reason for keeping them stationary first is so the person who's being chased always knows where their outlet is, so that they can quickly find where their open player would be and make that pass. And then as they get better, then you can have that player moving, and now they have to search in the environment to find where the open player is, or the player without a ball, more like a game. And so to me, this is how we solve problems, is you're doing a drill that you think is going to solve the problem in terms of playing tag instead of just doing a straight line dribbling drill. So we're more reactive, changing directions, working on different types of ball handling, but it's still not getting the full desired result in terms of transferring to improved game performance, because the use of the dribble needs to lead to a shot or a pass. So then we add another constraint. So we create a pass into the drill so that it is more like a game. Because again, in a game we're going to use the dribble to pass the ball, not just to dribble around in circles like we tend to do in tag. So again, I think the tag games are a good start, but I think if you add some form of passing off the dribble into a tag game, it can become even more game-like and can help with that transfer from basic dribbling into game dribbling, where you have to use the dribble to complete a pass or to create a shot for yourself or a teammate.